Hello, you are watching Cloud and 5G Live. Today I'm joined by Edwige Robinson, Senior Vice President, Central Region Network Engineering and Operations at T-Mobile, who will be delivering her keynote presentation titled The Promise of 5G, Leaving No One Behind. With over 25 years' experience as an executive leader, Edwige has expertise in strategic planning, P&L management, engineering, operations, and risk management. As a transformation expert, she drives social impact strategies along with incorporating robust diversity, equity, and inclusion frameworks that support employee recruitment and retention, as well as supplier diversity. Edwige serves on the board of directors of A Little Bit of Hope and Four Girls for Change, and previously served on the boards of the Tyke Centre and WICT network. She holds a BA in technical management and an MBA in strategic planning, finance, business intelligence, and analytics management, both from Devry University, and has completed senior executive leadership programs at the Wharton School of Business at Harvard University. And now, to deliver her keynote presentation, please welcome Edwige herself.
Hello, everybody. I'm super excited to be here, and it's going to be an amazing time. So, we're going to take a few minutes to talk about the promise of 5G. You see, 5G promises three key elements: faster data speed, low latency, and an ultra connected world. But I can reassure that everyone in the world benefits from 5G. I can reassure as an industry that we don't leave anyone behind. But I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked that specific question that we're going to be talking about just right now. So I am Edwige Robinson, as mentioned. I'm originally from the Ivory Coast, a beautiful country in West Africa. With over 26 years experience in the industry, I love to guide organizations to uncover the intricacy of innovation and technology. I love to help teams deliver extraordinary results. I'm also a very passionate leader, and more importantly, an advocate for women and champion for women to not only enter, but stay and succeed in tech. I'm known to be a triple minority, being from Africa, Black, and female, but more importantly, to be a beacon of hope. So let's dive in. Does everybody remember what happened in 2007 when Steve Ballmer, the CEO of Microsoft, said back then, there's no chance that the iPhone 7 gonna have any success. There's no chance. iPhone in general gonna have any market share. Oh, I'm so glad it was wrong. Because ever since, every 10 years, we have a new G. Does everybody remember the 2000 when we had the first iPhone? It was about $500. And everybody was like, how can people even purchase a phone without even purchasing the mortgages or the rent? But it took off because it revolutionized the way that people live. Then in 2010, we got 4G. That was much better than 3G. And now today, in 2022, we at the flourishing and inception of 5G. Is permeating everything that we do, from talking to our friend, the way that we drive, the way that we do electronics, the way that we actually do exercise, healthcare is everywhere. And why is that a game changer? As I mentioned earlier, latency, a graded connectivity density, and more importantly, the way to have this interconnection throughout everything we do. So 5G is a game changer. It's taken over our life, and it's changing the way that we do business today. And even a young kid, as soon as you give them a smartphone, they either swipe left or they even swipe right because of the simplicity of the system. But is that everyone experience? Is that the experience of the single mom? Is that the experience of the underserved community? Is that the experience of the rural communities? No. The digital divide, as known in the dictionary, is the uneven distribution of information and technology in society. Unfortunately, it reinforces inequality, it reinforces the disparity of wealth, and it creates the have and the have not. You see, 3.7 billion, almost nearly half of the world population today, lack internet access, and is impacting most women and minority. 5.3 million people in the UK, about 10% of the adult population, don't have access to the internet. 18% of the global population don't have access to the internet. So while us in the industry, we are in a bubble, is prominent for our life, it is not for others. We know the ramification of it: reduce equity, create educational barrier, and widen the discrimination and the wealth gap. The digital divide is also a social justice issue. Why is it a social justice issue? Because, for example, think about it. In LA, over 260 residents. During the pandemic, 13,000 students did not access the internet. Let me say that again. 13,000 out of 260 in LA. That's supposed to be the most powerful city in the world. The study of the Pew Research noted that 24% of adults in the US economy that make less than 30,000 a year don't even own a smartphone. And 40% of those in lower income don't have broadband services or even a small computer at home. Even the largest developing country in the world, China, faces severe digital divide, which exists not only between mainland China, but also in developing countries. And it creates a disparity between social groups. So how we close the gap? How the wireless industry close the gap? Luckily, PwC and UNICEF did an amazing study and gave us the answers. Digital literacy is one of the stepping stones. Providing people access, providing people exposure so that they can fend for themselves. Work-ready skills so that we can uplift people from poverty, so that they can have the honor and the respect and the dignity of working for themselves. Working with the infrastructure to provide true connectivity. And more importantly, work with the devices and the OEM to provide true access and devices and tablets so that people can actually utilize it. So we have to work through affordable plans. We have to ensure that we work together to provide an equitable access. Technology should almost become like a right. Like people have the right to have healthcare. People have the right to have an education. And we need to work together with the municipality, with the government, with the mayor, with everybody within the system so that we can take part of the policy and create policy that's favorable to underserved community. Broadband that is not affordable is not accessible. As an industry, we are proud to say that we're providing broadband, but if it's not affordable to the community that need it the most, guess what? It's not accessible. At T-Mobile, we are very proud and super happy to share that we have a project called Project 10 Million. And this is one of the ways that we are helping community. We are committed over 10.7 billion over 10 years to help students, to help communities, to give access so that when kids get home, they can do homework. They can also give a fighting chance in order for them to compete. And so far, the program has been tremendous. Since 2020, we impacted over 3 million kids and over 1,000 communities have been enrolled. It's so amazing. We already see the impact. And we also launched a program called Next Step, a diversity program that allowed us to work together and then train field tech, tower crews. We actually extended it to also give people access for truck drivers So this is providing a mix of investment and opportunities so that the community that we want to serve, the people that we want to become our customer, we're not only providing them wireless services, but we're also impacting their life and changing their life. I do believe that this is how we need to come together in new ways to share our knowledge, build our expertise, co-create solutions that are sustainable and scalable so that we can change the life of people forever. I do believe that by coming together, not separately, but synchronizing the effort that we have from the devices, from the OEM, from the infrastructure, from the wireless provider. Let's find a way to come together so that we can change the lives, we can impact the policy, we can impact access, and we can change people's life for good. So that this is how together we don't leave anybody behind. I do believe that alone we are doing great things. We are impacting our customer, but together we can have a bigger impact. And I do believe that this is a way we don't leave anybody behind, but more importantly, this is the way that we can bring 5G to life for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Edwige. That was brilliant. Moving on now to our Q&A session. So, Edwige, with so many advancements in technology, why is the digital divide getting bigger?
Thank you, Sam, for this great question. Unfortunately, we are providing services to different communities, but we're doing that separately, as I mentioned. T-Mobile is doing a great job. AT&T are doing it. All our competitors, from broadband to devices, OEM, everybody's doing something to close the gap, but we're doing that separately. I do believe that we need to come together and synchronize those efforts so that we can have a bigger impact and then we can close the gap faster.
Fantastic, thank you. In your opinion, Edwige, what does it take to succeed in tech?
As a female, as I mentioned, I'm known to be a triple minority, being Black, being from the coast, and being female. But I do believe that in order to succeed in tech, you need to have your CPU with you at all times. And the CPU for me stands for courage. Courage to embrace the unknown. The technology industry moves really fast and evolve. So you have to embrace the unknown so that you can continue to evolve. P is for perseverance. You're going to encounter multiple challenges. So you need to be open to the intricacies of the technology innovation, and you for unyielding faith in the possibility of life. You need to be very optimistic. You need to believe that life has so much to offer. And I do believe that those are the key elements that you need. Obviously, you're going to do the learning, you're going to practice, you're going to go to school, but you need your CPU in order for you to succeed in the technology realm.
Brilliant. Thank you, Edwige. That's fantastic. That just about sums up all we have time for today. Thank you very much for joining us, Edwige. It's been an absolute pleasure. And thank you also to the audience for joining us. But please stay tuned to find out more of what's to come here at Cloud and 5G Live.